Hey everybody, welcome to the Loxy Files. It's 2024 and it's a brand new year. There are amazing things that are in store for you. If you believe it, claim it, declare it, like it's your year. Um I feel like it's a thing that everybody's like, this is my year, why not? Like every year can be your year if you want it to be your year. Honestly, it doesn't mean that bad things aren't gonna happen. It doesn't mean that they're gonna be it's gonna be smooth sailing the whole way, but if you believe like no, I'm going to see the goodness of God in the land of the living, you're going to see the goodness of God in the land of the living. It doesn't mean that bad things won't happen. Trust me, I am living proof that even if you're seeing the goodness of God in the land of the living, you can still see fire. You can still be walking through valleys. You can still be stressed and tired and bleh, feeling bleh, but you still be seeing the goodness of God through all of that, because God is a God who never leaves you nor forsakes you. He's always with you. So let me share a bit of 2023 with you so that you can understand where I'm coming from. 2023, I got into it saying like, it's gonna be an amazing year. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be engaged by the end of the year. I'm gonna get my degree. I'm gonna get a car. I'm gonna get a job. Life is gonna be great. Like everything's gonna be working out because my God is good. And yes, all those things worked out because my God is good. However, getting those things, walking down those paths was not easy. A lot of tears were shed. A lot of prayers were prayed. There was a lot of claiming, there was a lot of declaring, there was a lot of binding and loosing. There were a lot of things that were happening behind the scenes that people did not see. And I had to fight. There were some days where I was just so tired, so overwhelmed that I didn't even want to get out of bed. Like I was just exhausted. When you feel defeated and you're just like, what's the point? Like why am I even going through all of this? But even now, like the end of the year, the very end of the year was amazing. But like the getting to the end of the year was also rough because I went through a situation that was completely out of my control, and I'm still in that situation now. And, even to this day, in this moment, I'm fighting for my joy. I'm fighting for my peace. I'm fighting to trust God in the midst of everything. But the point is, I'm choosing to fight. I'm choosing to fight against the mentality that God has left me, or he's given up on me, or I'm not supposed to amount to anything, or whatever. Like I'm fighting things. I'm fighting. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up because that's not who I am. And I'm not telling you to be like me or whatnot because I may not even understand your situation. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what your story is. All I know is that you claim to be a child of God. And if you claim to be a child of God, He says He has plans for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. So there may be storms. Right now, life may be great, or maybe life is not so great. And you may be going through a storm, you may be going through a fire right now. But you have to choose to fight for what it is that you want. If it's peace that you want, you have to fight for your peace. If you want joy, you got to fight for your joy. If you want your relationships to stay stable or to be restored, you got to fight for those relationships. If it's a job or a certain career path that you want, you got to fight for that. If it's I don't know, something that it is that you want your degree, you better fight for it. You better study. Study hard too. Like you have to fight for what it is that you want. There are certain things, yes, as a child of God that just come free, that come easy, like salvation. You literally surrender and boom, you are saved. But the part that comes afterwards, sanctification, you gotta fight for that. You gotta fight perversive thoughts. You gotta fight the desire to sin. You gotta fight the desire to go back to your old ways. Those things take effort. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't be so quick to give up. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. You can do this. You can see the goodness of God in the land of the living. You can see the plans of God being fulfilled in your life. You can see even your dreams coming to pass. But it's not always going to come easy. It's not always gonna be a walk in the park. There are gonna be hard times, hard seasons where you don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to deal with people. You don't want to deal with life. You don't even want to live. And trust me, as much as it may not seem like it, there's always something to live for. God has so much in store for you. Jesus came to give you life and life more abundant. A life abundant and free. Free from the stress, free from the temptations, free from the anger, free from the frustration, free from just the awful things that life has, because He has good things in store for you: joy, peace, love, patience, faithfulness, goodness. There's just so much that He has to offer you. And I know it's not an easy thing to fight. It's not easy. It's hard. It is hard. But you can do it. It's a personal choice that you have to make. And you have to tell yourself, like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it. It may come with lots of tears. It may come with a lot of screaming and fussing and everything. You might come out with a bit of bruises, some scars. You might lose some people along the way, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. So I'm asking you to fight. Fight in prayer. Fight those mentalities and those mindsets. Fight those generational curses. Fight for what you want. Fight for what you believe is yours. Fight for what the Bible tells you is already yours. Because there's a lot of promises of God. And yes, some of them are just easy. They just come easy. But some of them require you to make some changes, to let go of habits, to let go of mindsets and mentalities, to let go of certain people. And those things require fighting those urges, fighting those temptations, even fighting just for your sanity. But you can do it. So this 2024, let's fight. Let's fight for what we want. Let's fight for what we want to see in our lives. And I do believe it's going to be an amazing year. I pray that God leads you, He guides you, that He heals you, that He restores you, that He gives you the desires of your heart, that you will experience His goodness, His mercy, His grace, His love, His compassion, just everything that He has for you. But may He pour out His Spirit over you, and may you just be revived. May you experience life, what it means to be alive, what it means to be free this year. May you experience rest also, what it's like to just rest in His presence, what it's like to just rest in His love, in His joy. It's going to be an amazing year. I love you guys. I'm excited to hear many, many testimonies by the end of the year. Not even at the end of the year. Like even halfway through the year. Like whatever happens, guys, I want to hear it. I want to know. I want to know what's happening in your lives. I want to know what God is doing for you. But yeah, I'm excited. I hope you are also happy 2024. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah. And I have exciting content coming for you guys this year.